just resting a little bit here, and I decided to test one or two things and just want to test my phone and the YouTube studio. But I also want to talk about Messi. I want to talk about Messi. So today we did see Messi taking that press conference, giving us what he thinks about leaving, and I think it was so emotional because he said I wasn't really ready for it, and that is for me that was the point. That was the biggest point of it. Said he wasn't ready. He never thought it would reach a time where he leaves Barcelona. It was so emotional. He was crying, like, I mean, at times you feel you want to feel what Messi feels as a superstar. You want to feel what Messi feels as a superstar, but you can't. We are, some of us are not really to that at that level. But now it's gonna be going to PSG, and the big question for me is, how will PSG? Who will stop PSG? Who's gonna stop Paris Saint-Germain when Messi goes there? 3-year contract. That is what he's gonna be signing, as far as we know. Now the big question is, how do you stop PSG? Who is gonna stop PSG? The French League One. Will it have any value? Will it be any important for us to watch the French League One? Because look, last season, Lille won that title, and PSG, were runners up. But think about it. Will there be any more mobility in the French League One? Will there be any any chances for these small teams to win these titles, to win a title, to feel like we won a title? That feeling when you're Lille, that feeling when you're Lyon, that feeling when you're Montpellier, that feeling when you're Bordeaux, and you win the title. Like, many people are saying the Premier League is spoiled. And obviously most of us, do support the Premier League, and we do understand the Premier League. And many people think, the Premier League is spoiled because you have players like Grealish moving to City, Ken might move to City as well. Jadon Sancho may move to, moving to Manchester United, Varane moving to Manchester United. So you have so many of the quality players moving to these big sides. And it creates some kind of a dominance in football that really you think is killing these other small teams. But what about Messi signing for PSG? What about that? How about that? You know what? If it's gonna put a lot of pressure on Mauricio Pochettino, and I think if he thought he got an easy job because signing for PSG as a manager, you're guaranteed to win the title. He didn't win it in the last round, but you're guaranteed to win the title. In the French, you guaranteed to win the French League One and probably a couple of home cups around there. And the greatest task is the Premier League, is the Champions League for PSG. I think that's their greatest task. That is their greatest task as PSG, winning the Champions League. But for me, I just feel a little bit pity for clubs down in France. I'll be trying to watch their games. I'll try to see how exactly things are gonna roll down there. But it's unfair. It's gonna be like a one man race. That is it. A one horse race in France. It's so different from what is in Spain, because in Spain, at least they have Barcelona, they have 3 teams or 4 teams. Of course, Sevilla cannot win the title, same as Villarreal and Valencia, but at least they have 3 teams. That is how they built their brand. In Germany, they've got to work on it as well. I think the dominance of Bayern is not going to be broken, but there is some competition from the likes of Dortmund, from the likes of RB Leipzig, and you remember how Leipzig became the team they are. They just came out from nowhere and become the team they are. You have the likes of Leverkusen, of course, Wolfsburg, the likes of Borussia Mönchengladbach, but they don't challenge for the title. They don't challenge Bayern, but at least you think from 2nd to 5th, there is a lot of competition there. There's a lot of quality. So they just need to deal with Bayern Munich, and I think the Bundesliga need to do that as a brand. But in French football, it's so different. It's absolutely different. You have, you have PSG that have Neymar, that have Mbappe, that have Hakimi, that have Ramos, Kimpembe, Marquinhos. They have Donnarumma. You literally have a Super League team in the French League One, and I just feel a little bit pity. I just really a little bit pity for those teams down there. Are they ever gonna feel like they will win the title? And we're gonna see, game results 8-0, 10-0, 15, maybe 20 goals, 20 goals in a game. Because again, at the end of the day, we know what Messi is, the impact he can create as a player, despite the fact that you have, the big names like Neymar and Mbappe. And we know what PSG have been doing down there. We absolutely do understand what they've been doing down there in the French League One. They've been absolutely so good. They've been, destroying everything. And at this point in time, it looks like they're just killing it. It looks like they're just going to smash every living thing down there. So I just feel a little bit pity. But also think about the economics. Think about the economics and think about the economic jeopardy that Barcelona have been in. Messi is gonna, how much is he gonna earn? He's gonna be the most paid player in that league in the world. But when this lead to economic jeopardy, from PSG, UEFA, where they Barcelona failed to sign Messi on another contract because of the structures and the legal barriers put by the Liga. And this is where at times I question UEFA when they was challenged by the Super League. Wow, they did shout. The shouts were so loud. Now I'm asking myself now, Messi's going to PSG. How much is he gonna earn? Yeah, how much is he gonna earn? It's funny. It's absolutely funny. But I mean, it's a pity. But I think it's a great opportunity for football. And a very I was watching James Harcourt today. And he made a very great argument. He said, if you look at a brand or a structure like La Liga failing to kneel down, for Barcelona, failing to kneel down for Messi, telling them, the structures cannot be shifted, the goalposts are not changing because you want to keep Messi. You either keep Messi in law, or you actually let him go. And Barcelona, if you look at the statement they released, they were blaming UEFA for actually putting in these putting up these restrictions. And these restrictions, which is what is funny enough, are not new. This is a document. These are policies they signed around 7 years ago. They signed around 8 years ago. And 8 years later, when Barcelona find themselves in a very difficult financial situation, they have actually jeopardized their economics and money. They start shouting, what? Oh, La Liga is actually refusing Messi to stay. Things like that. But I think it's a very great step for me. I think Barcelona also will benefit from this. Yeah, Messi has been the brand, has been the heart, the soul, the brain of Barcelona. But at some point in time, it was gonna happen. They would let him go. They were gonna let him go. And for me, I think this is the time. That is the time when you let Messi go. Yes, it's gonna be very hard for them to bounce back. Probably 2 years, 4 years, or 5 years, or even 8 years or 10 years. It depends, because one problem they made is they had a very big brand of players, the likes of Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, the likes of Carlos Puyol, and that was the identity of Barcelona. Now, if you look at the players they're trying to recruit, they for me, the reason as why they're failing is Barcelona just want to make those players. They want to make Griezmann another David Villa. It's not gonna happen that easily. They want to get someone who's gonna become another Messi. You're never gonna find that person easily, right? They want to find another Xavi. They want to find another Iniesta. I think they're grooming Pedri to become either Xavi or Iniesta. But it's like it's the end of an era, and Barcelona have got to accept this. It was always going to be the end of that era. The time was going to reach when the era collapses, and I think the era has come to an end. The captain of the ship is off. So you don't tell me how many players are left in that. Jordi Alba, Busquets, probably a couple of a few other players. But it's gonna help Barcelona a lot, away from PSG and how they could actually get money and dominate, probably with the Champions League, because that is their dream. But it's gonna help Barcelona a lot in terms of restructuring, rebranding, and creating a sustainable brand. Messi has been at Barcelona for how many years? 2 decades? And I think 2 decades is just enough. Absolutely. 2 decades is just enough time. So it's going to give Barcelona that time to rebrand and restructure. I don't know whether they're going to get another Messi. If they try to do that, it's absolutely dangerous. It could take, it could take millions of years to get another player like Messi. I think they can build around Pedri. I was watching that Spain team in the Euros, and Pedri is a very, very interesting player. If they can build around Pedri, if they can get their system and build a team around Pedri, I think it would be absolutely so good. I think they can build something sustainable. They have a couple of young players there, Ansu Fati, Pedri, they're like the likes of Frankie de Jong. They can begin from that. They can do that. And why I think it's an advantage for Barcelona, just look at the panic modes they had started, letting out some players, the likes of Trincao, signing in free agents because they want to reduce their wage bill and try to keep Messi. Yes, you're trying to keep Messi, you're trying to please the fans, you're trying to keep the brand as a team and the Liga, but you're actually, inside, you're eating it, you're killing it. At this point in time, look, it's funny, but look, how many years is Aguero gonna give you at Barcelona? How many years? Not so many. How many years is Memphis Depay gonna give you Barcelona as a top quality player? How many? And they are so lucky as Barcelona. They're actually drowning at a period when Real Madrid is also drowning. It's also in very, very big problems. And what's funny is, I think, look, if you're in Africa, you will understand what I'm talking about. You might have, brands like DSTV cutting off La Liga. We might stop watching the La Liga on Supersport, not DSTV, but Supersport. It happened with Italy. Italy bounced back and they came back into coverage in Supersport, I think, when Ronaldo joined Juve. And I wasn't really surprised. I wasn't really surprised because with TV rights and TV owners and match coverage, they're looking at the money, they're looking at the brands. So God help us, I don't want to see the French League One on Supersport. Like, I don't want to say it, but it's going to happen. We are going to have the French League One on Supersport. Like, I'm sitting after Leicester City, Manchester United, and at 10 p.m. I'm gonna watch Mets Lens. Come on, but it's gonna happen because they want to cover Messi. They want to give Messi coverage. They can't leave French League One to brands like StarTimes. They're always gonna fight for it, and the rest are gonna become very expensive. And I think SuperSport will win them. So be very prepared to watch Nice and Lens. On Supersport, because Messi is actually running down there because Sergio Ramos has gone there, and I think I think as fans, if you give me the French League One because there is Messi, it's unfair. It's unfair because PSG have one game per weekend, in that league. How many more games? How many more quality games am I going to watch? Maybe Lyon. They have what? They have Aouar, they have Guimaraes, they have Anderson. Yeah, they have some good players there. Lille, won the title, but they don't have so many good players. I mean, watching Monaco, Lyon, I would rather watch Wolves, Burnley. I don't know if the comparison actually makes sense. So La Liga as a brand is going to suffer a lot. you know, Ronaldo going away, Ronaldo going away affected them so much as a brand, as La Liga, because it was always about La Liga, Ronaldo versus Messi, and Ronaldo left, and they were so lucky that in the period when Ronaldo left, Messi had very, very good campaigns. Messi had Messi has had a very good campaign. Even the last campaign, he was so good, despite the fact that he wanted to leave on a free, in the last summer. So now, what happens to La Liga? I mean, what happens to La Liga? Because Barcelona were absolutely not so good last season. Even with Messi in, he did so many good things for them, but they were not so good. Maybe could we see Atletico Madrid, dominate or win 3 leagues? Win 3 league titles consecutively, because that could happen if they can capitalize on the weaknesses of Barcelona and Real Madrid at the moment. They could win 3 league titles. They could win 4 league titles. Maybe not consecutively, really, but in a space of 6 years or 7 years, they could grab another 3 titles, because with Madrid now, their squad is aging at a very fast rate. Let alone the fact that they have lost some of their best players like Sergio Ramos and Rafa Varane. That is another point. But their squad is also aging at a very fast rate. The likes of Cruz, the likes of Modric. Of course, you talk about the likes of Sergio Ramos that have left, and the likes of Rafa Varane. All of them, 28. Their average age in that squad is around 28, 29. They're not going to run as fast as they used to run. They're not going to dominate as big as they used to dominate. And it's a big fear for Real Madrid. At the same time, it's a big fear for Barcelona. Yeah, they might have a couple of young players in there, and they seem to be building something, but what they're building is actually not even coming off. What they're building is absolutely not coming off, and that's why I'm very, very afraid for Barcelona, and eventually afraid of La Liga as a brand. It could die out, because we know brands can die. It could La Liga as a brand could die out. You look at that Atletico Madrid side. If I asked you at this point in time, how many players do you know at Atletico Madrid? What are you gonna say? Maybe you're gonna tell me Oblak. Maybe you're gonna tell me Saul Niguez. You're gonna tell me Suarez as well. And it's understandable, because those are very, very outstanding. Maybe Cossy as well. And of course you might know the names, because they just won the league. So I don't want to really troll you like you don't know the names. So I know you might know the names, because these lads just won the league last campaign. But I don't think Atletico Madrid play very interesting football for Sky Sport to put their cameras and pay for the rights for us to see Atletico Madrid. And what is worrying is, in terms of traditionally, Barcelona and Real Madrid still command a lot, but in the next 2 years, if they do not actually address their problems, you could have Atletico Madrid as the biggest brand in Spain, and that's gonna be interesting. For me, that is the death of La Liga as a brand. The moment you have Atletico Madrid as the key brand, as the star brand, it's that you're done. You're done for. You're dead. Absolutely, you're done for. So Messi going to PSG, there's so many advantages there, but there are very many disadvantages to La Liga, to the French League One, to the fans. Yeah, to the fans. It's gonna be really, just imagine if PSG come into this, do make a European Super League, because now it's legal. The European Super League is legal. So if they come into the European Super League with that quality, and Arsenal, which is our club, also come into the European Super League, what exactly happens with that? What the hell happens with that? Yeah, what exactly happens? It would be absolutely outrageous, right? It would be really, really outrageous. So, those are my thoughts on Messi leaving Barcelona. I think the years have been so many, and it's hurting. You could see Messi. He was hurting. And for me, it wasn't made up. It was really hurting. Of course, many people try to compare him. Try to say, why is he crying? Last time he wanted to leave. Even before his contract was, even when his contract still had a year, why is he crying now? The level of emotional attachment, he has at Barcelona is very different, very, very different. He's been a brand. He's been the father, the mother, for that team. But remember, Barcelona they have done they have done their part in terms of reciprocity and in terms of loyalty. I think they've absolutely, I think they have absolutely done it for Messi. Whenever he needed a new contract, they provided. Whenever he needed more money, they provided. The competition with Ronaldo, they helped him to, try to, move up to speed and catch up with with Ronaldo. Of course, we know how strong Ronaldo's marketing is. He's a very, 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 very good guy in terms of marketing. I think he has a very, very good team in terms of marketing, though. Right? Hey, Cossy, can you tell us about Kieran Trippier? Right? Right. Since we're speaking La Liga, I'll speak about Trippier in a second. Now, the story was broken by Charlie Wade. And he was saying Arsenal are preparing. Actually, that is the story. Arsenal are preparing a bid for Atletico Madrid right back Kieran Trippier, who is 31 years of age, and Atletico Madrid are looking at around £32 million. That is the story. And if you remember my thoughts in the morning, I told you, yeah, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. I don't have any problems with it. I really don't have any problems with it. If Arsenal decide to sign, if Arsenal decide to sign Kieran Trippier, I don't have any issues with that. I don't have any problems with that. Why would I? That's the question. Why would I have any issues with that? He brings the experience. He's old enough. He's 31. He's played in the Premier League, so I don't expect him to struggle, right? But I think that deal really depends on whether Hector Bellerin will go. I think it depends on that. What's the game with James Madison? I think there are no games. Fabrizio has tweeted in the past few minutes, and he said he actually said trying to pick that what he said. He said Arsenal is still waiting for Martin Odegaard. Yeah, that is what he said. The Arsenal is still waiting for Martin Odegaard, and they'll try to wait until they can actually sign him. But if you think about it, I think Madison is our priority. Yeah, it's our priority. It's not going to be an easy deal. You know that. It's not going to be an easy deal. But he is our priority. Yeah, he is our priority. You know that. So James Madison is our priority, despite the fact that we're still taking a lot of time. It's still our priority. Please tell Arteta to sign Lautaro Martinez, Madison Awa. Please, Balogun needs regular playing time. Yeah, I think you're right. Balogun needs regular playing time. To sign Lautaro Martinez and Madison at the same time, it would be mad. I mean, we can't get them. We can get them, but it's not that easy. We know, all of us know that it's not that easy. But yeah, it would be. Look, it would be very, very interesting. For me, if we can get a war and get in James Madison, I don't care about Lautaro. I don't really care about Lautaro Martinez. As long as we can get two of James Madison and Houssem Aouar. Fix that midfield, and maybe we can actually deal with the rest later. Hey, Cossy, how is the Bernardo Silva situation? And John says, but Cossy, Atletico Madrid is doing well. Why? Well, why? Because they can't keep quality players for so long. That is, every club has a policy. Every club has a policy. If you look at Dortmund, they're disappointing. I really love Dortmund, but they disgust me. And the reason that's why they disgust me so easy, it's their policy. You can never change that. It's their policy. What they do is they sell their best players and bring in new ones. I mean, look, if they kept Lewandowski and kept Mario Götze and kept Shinji Kagawa not to go to Manchester United, and kept who else? And kept Aubameyang, they win the league. Yeah, they can dominate the league because you know Dortmund have the ability to dominate the league. But you know, every club has its own policy. That is what Atletico Madrid are good at. They brought in Rodrigo de Paul, and they're gonna let go of Saul Niguez. And you feel if you're if you're a fan of Atletico Madrid, it's always gonna hurt you. It's always gonna be like, why did we let go of Saul? But that is their beauty as Atletico Madrid. That is the beauty of Atletico Madrid. They always have that ability to replace their players well. They always have have it spot on. They signed in Luis Suarez. He won them the title. Look at their goalkeeper Jan Black. Jan Black replaces Thibaut Courtois, and Thibaut Courtois was a replacement of David De Gea. So you can see how good they are in terms of doing their business. If you look at how they bring in players and how they let them go. If you want a player from Atletico Madrid, they let you buy the player. They let you get him, and because they know they can actually replace each and every player. So letting go of their good players, I think it's part of their policy. It's part of their policy. And at times clubs do need money to run them. I think that's one of the reasons as why clubs actually keep let go of their players. So BSA asked me about Bernardo Silva. Look, Arsenal want Bernardo. We all know that. Arsenal want to sign in Bernardo Silva, but it is far away. Our first priority is Maddison. The next priority is Martin Odegaard. And Bernardo could actually come as a fourth priority even after Houssem Aouar. And if you think about it, could Bernardo sign for Arsenal? Because it all begins with interest. But are we going to convince Bernardo Silva to join Arsenal? Unless there are no other clubs that are interested, unless Atletico Madrid are not serious, and unless Barcelona are not serious. But if these other clubs are really serious, if they are serious about the situation of taking Bernardo, then it might be very hard. Yeah, then it might be very hard for Arsenal. But at the moment, we just want to, he's part of the list, but not anything close, not really anything close. I'm telling you, for facts, right? Hey, Cossy, our club, they are serious in the transfer market. I think this is according to Ono. Joachim says, Cossy, even if Maddison is brought at Arsenal, when other players are still lazy, not even feeling the game, we cannot do anything. I think Joachim, with players like I talked about this. I think I was streaming with Glenn on Glenn Kitely. And I say, with players like Jack Grealish, Maddison, the beauty with those players is they have the magnet and they have the ability to raise performances of other players, to raise performances of players around them. That is what you love about them. That is the beauty with them. They're always like a magnet. They help other players. They stretch other players. Into performing well. It's the same thing with Messi. It's the same thing with players like Ronaldo. It's like that. So James Maddison, he might not actually win us the league or do things like that, but because he's a very good player, I think his performance, his talent, and his quality would elevate us as a club. And I think that is one of the things we would get by getting in a player like James Maddison. Get him. He will amplify. He can amplify the rest of the other players, right? So it's the good thing with having good players in your side. Okay, what are you people saying? We need a good striker, Cossy. I love Sambi Lokonga's football. The debate about a striker is real and non-real. I hope I make sense, because I don't make sense to myself when I say that. Like, I'm like, what am I even saying? right? What am I even saying? So I think the debate is real and unreal at the same point in time. Why I think the debate is real is Aubameyang is missing sitters as if he's scoring goals. The rate at which he's supposed to be finishing off chances, the rate at which he's supposed to be scoring goals, he's actually missing sitters. Alexander Lacazette is he reliable? Is he going to give us another season with double figures? There's a big question. And apart from those two, there is no other player that actually gives you more than that. All of us know that. So maybe that is where it goes. That is where you say that's where that is where you say Arsenal need a striker. Arsenal need to sign in a striker or things like that. But I think, in my opinion, our problems are not the striking line. Our problems are not the forward line. I think Arsenal can do better next season. I think our strikers can actually do better next season. One thing we need to do, one or two things, is supply them more. Let us try to see if we supply them more, yeah. If we supply them more and they don't give us what we want, that's it. Yeah. That's it. We're getting a new striker. But at the moment, I think our problems lie far away from that striking line. I think our problems are in the midfield. Because with the striking line, you can use Martinelli there, you can use Balogun there, you can use Aubameyang, you can use Lacazette, and let us try to give them another chance, pump them with chances. Let's try to create more chances. Let us try to build more in terms of building our game and see. So I don't absolutely disagree with you. We might need to get in a new striker, but let's try to give the ones we have a chance and see. Someone said you also said you love Lokonga. I think Lokonga is a good player. I think what Lokonga gives us is very different from what Xhaka gives us, from what we would get from a player like Joe Willock. I think Lokonga is a perfect central midfielder. And not just perfect, but also a perfect modern central midfielder. Like, if you look at his average position, if you look at his passing, if you look at how calm he is, if you look at his tackling, he's absolutely elite. Yeah, he's absolutely elite. So anyone who thinks we need to sign in, a CDM, you might be right, but I think Lokonga is gonna be something big. I also love Lokonga's, he gives us that kind of assurance in the midfield, and I think we really don't get that, very, very often. We actually don't, right? But Cossy, I wish there was any way Arsenal can get a number 2 in defense like Bakary Sagna. Okay. Saying that is John says. Arsenal needs a good right back like Bakary Sagna. I'm trying to remember the times I watched, Sagna. He wasn't a bad player. He wasn't really a bad player. One of the things I really like about Sagna and things that will never go away for me is, his durability and his consistency. Those things will never go away. They will absolutely never go away for me in terms of, for Bakary Sagna. He was so consistent. He was very consistent. He was very durable. He played every game for us, for that Arsene Wenger, Arsene Wenger side. And I think if you think about it, can Bakary Sagna play in modern football? Because what we want to play under Mikel Arteta is so different from what we played under Arsene Wenger. With Arsene Wenger, the pace was not so sharp. In modern football, the pace is sharper. You want someone who's very, very fast. But I think what you mean is you want Arsenal to get in someone who can play in that area better than Hector Bellerin and play well. And I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. There is no reason as to why Arsenal do not actually get in a good right back. There is no reason as to why we don't get in a good right back. We've suffered for 2 good seasons with Hector Bellerin. It's enough. Yeah, for me, enough is enough. We've got to get in. We've got to get in a good a good right back as well. And I would suggest players like Max Aarons. I think Aarons is 24 million, or even 20, around 24, 25. You get in Max Aarons, he's just what, 21, 22, use him for 8 years, 10 years. And that's the beauty, because if you look at Kian Tierney, if we don't decide to sell Tierney, it's gonna be at this football club for the next like 10 years, and that that area is sorted. If you bring in Max Aarons, another 10 years, right back is sorted. Ben White, centre back, with Gabriel, centre back partnership, 10 years sorted. If you bring in Aaron Ramsdale, whether you like him or not, 10 years sorted. Yeah, in the midfield, Albert Samuel Lokonga and Lou Smith Rowe, 10 years sorted. Up front, Saka Martinelli, 10 years sorted. You know, it's like Arsenal are trying to build this kind of system, and we've got to give it time. So I really can't back them. They've got to give us they've got to give us they've got to give us a very good right back. Love Cossy, hope you're doing good and resting well. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, my man HJ90. Thank you so much. I rarely stream at this time, because most of my audience, the biggest part of my audience, is asleep. But I think they are awake because of transfers. I know that transfers can keep you awake. And don't forget, we'll be live on deadline day. And I'll keep you posted on deadline day. So make sure you do check out all videos on that day. The problem is the board. This is according to Williams. It says, I will keep on saying this. Right, don't disappear. Why my messages disappear so easily? So all right. Williams is saying the problem is the board. I will keep on saying this. This is the problem Wenger, our ex-coach, was having with the board. To be sincere, no coach or manager will do well at Arsenal at the moment. Yeah, I think you're right. But it depends. It really depends. If the project they're talking about is alive, maybe Arsenal needs someone like Lauren. Are you talking about Lauren Meyer or someone else? Russell. Okay. Yusuf says, Cossy, how long do we give for both Auba and Laka? They failed us last season. Please beg Arteta to give Balogun a chance. Okay. And then Pius says, good deal for Willock. Move on Nketiah, Bellerin, Nelson, William, Laka, and getting Awa Madison, a right back, and Onana. To start with the first comment, how much time do we give Laka? I'm gonna say this. Last season we didn't create a lot. Everybody knows that. Last season Arsenal didn't create a lot. It was more of, I don't know. It was more of a deficiency. Yeah. If it is diet, it was more of a deficiency. Our diet caused a deficiency in our strikers. So, and I think we were lucky that Aubameyang got double figures. We were also lucky that Lacazette got double figures as well. So I might not really say time is out for them or things like that and blah 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 blah. You know what? But I would say create more chances for them. I was watching the Guna talk today, and brilliant comment from Tom. He said, if you look at Lacazette's conversion rate, it is higher than any other striker in the Premier League who recorded double figures. I think not Harry Kane, right? But so for me, if a player has double figures and has a very high conversion rate, and is shooting less on at goal because the opportunities are not manifesting themselves, what you do is you actually create the chances. You actually give them the chances. You actually give them the goal scoring opportunities. That's what I think Arsenal must do. That's what I think we should do as a club. Give these men more goal scoring opportunities, and maybe there we'll have a better Arsenal. Pius, you said good deal for Willock. I think the deal makes sense for Willock. the deal makes sense for Willock. Yes, there've been a couple of arguments here and there about the future of Willock. Is Arsenal making a mistake, and things like that. I think it's a good deal for Willock, a good deal for Arsenal. Look, if we get this money and we don't bring in another player, it would be absolutely mad. But if we get the 20 million, top up and get in a better player, maybe Madison or Wow or Odegaard, I don't know what's gonna happen. Then you could see, you could say Arsenal is heading towards the right direction. Newcastle have got their man, they've got a player they need, and you've got to be happy for them. Really, don't be sad, yeah. And Willock is also is gonna get playing time. He's never gonna play for England in the coming 2 years, so he's got to know that as well. Okay. Buba says, Cossy, if it's true they want Arsenal progress, Stan has to put money on the table to complete the signing of James Bruno and the Trippier. That's the truth. We don't need to deceive ourselves. Brilliant comment. Usman says, Cossy, your analysis is worth noting, but by Arteta and management. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, bro. I think Max Aarons would be good signing than Trippier, and Madison is a good option. Jacob, yeah. I mean, the good thing with Aarons is he's young. He's young, so you're looking at a ceiling. You're looking at a higher ceiling, and you're also looking at longevity. You're looking at a player who's going to be here for 10 years at the club, and you're also looking at things like development. You know what I think is, we might start seeing a lot of English talent go out in the likes of Bundesliga, La Liga, and leagues like that. I think we might start to see much of English talent go in those areas. That's what I think. Yeah. I hope you have sensed how much we are lacking that desired aggressiveness. No team will fear such a team. We need a pressing side. We lack creativity and more work in the final third. This is David. I spoke about creativity. I spoke about our press. I spoke about them all, and I said what I think is funny about Arsenal is we know our problems. And to tell that we know our problems, look at the players we are always linked with. Last summer, we were linked with Partey and Noah. That shows you that the club knows the problem. That shows you that our problems are not alienated. We know them. We know them. We are not looking for the problems. Yeah. But I think you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely spot on, David. Okay. Suleiman says, good evening, Cossy. How about Messi to PSG? Messi to PSG is gonna do his medicals tomorrow, and he will be announced as a PSG player. That is it at the moment. But Cossy, will Arsenal bring Madison because time is not on our side? Arsenal management have said judges at the end of the window. So let's give them a time. Again, we have allowed Tottenham to take our man. What are we doing, Sandy Michael? And it says and Russo says, Cossy, this to present striker is not playing for money, for the money they buy for. Okay, says Cossy, these two present strikers are not playing for them. Oh, their performance. You're trying to say that their performances don't fit in the prices. We brought them out. But to start with Michael, who says Spurs are taking Lautaro, I think Spurs will splash even 80 million on Lautaro. They'll splash even 80 million on Lautaro Martinez. They will splash 80 million on Lautaro Martinez. They know how much they need him. There's no question about that. They know how much they need him. Okay. The two strikers are not actually worth the money. Nketiah to Brighton. Arsenal next move is signing Madders. What is going to pass? Nketiah is injured, but Brighton wants him. Yeah, and they're ready to pay around. Around 20 million for Edin Ketia. And the information I have from the Athletic, yeah, the information I have from the Athletic is Arsenal will not turn down any offers for players that are not starters, any offers in excess of 20 million. So we could also see Edin Ketia leave very, very soon as well. Jacob says if Kroenke doesn't want to put in a lot of money, let him spend more. Let him spend more at Hell N. Right, people, you've been very, very great. As an audience, I really wanted to share my thoughts, and we'll be doing more of these. Joachim says even we need a manager who can attract players to the club. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But before we get the manager who can attract players, we also need to get attract a manager. That is it. We also need to attract a manager, and that's how hard it becomes. When you put yourself in a very, very difficult situation, because at Arsenal now, a manager who would love to play, to manage us, will not be. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna come, that easy. You know that. He's not gonna come that easy, right? Okay, what else do we look at around there? And I didn't know, I really didn't know, you could have so many, things on these streams with YouTube, and they're absolutely, interesting. We need players with visionary powers, in the top four. That's according to Russell. And Bashir says we don't need strikers. We need Madison, Max, and Onana, because Leno makes too much of mistakes. And David says, I think we don't need to worry about our academy players moving on to other teams. Okay. It says the problem would be selling a player like Smith, whose contribution is significant. We need a winning mentality. Right then, lads, you've been very interesting. You've been very, very interesting. And I would love to speak. I would love to speak to you again in such a manner. Really free speak. Just speak. To you lads. And we shall do this. We shall do this. I think tomorrow. Make sure you do smash a like on the video right about now. We have 50 people watching. Let's smash the like button one more time. Everybody, every one of the 50. I know you are a subscriber to this channel, so I won't say subscribe, but smash a like on the video, because that's what we do on the Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Smash a like on the video, and I'll speak to you very, very soon, tomorrow in the morning.